Welcome to AV Girly channel. Here you get tales that inspire, teach, and open you to beautiful worlds of imagination. This is Broken Angel, final part. The city lights gleamed through glass walls. Louis was already seated at Kaka Cafe by 6 a.m. Mason, his personal investigator, sitting opposite him. "I found something, sir." "I'm already sitting. Just say it," Louis snapped impatiently. Mason hesitated. "The incident 2 years ago. The victim's name is Nina Adesua." Kevin's heart stopped. He couldn't breathe. "Quietly shattered Nina," he voiced. "Yes, sir. Remember I told you the victim was a fresh graduate from Glenda College?" Louis nodded. "From the information I gathered about Nina, I discovered she graduated from Glenda College 2 years ago. During same period, the incident happened. Her class had hosted a final year party at the same hotel. You went for your friend's birthday party. Both events happened on the same night in the same hotel. When you got drugged, you tried finding your way into..." "Enough!" Louis cut in, frightened. "I thought I blacked out. How then did I mess things up?" He tousled his hair hysterically. "Don't be hard on yourself, sir. You were a victim too. I am a victim in your eyes, but not in hers. To her, that man is a predator, a monster. Oh God, what kind of fate is this?" "But she doesn't know anything. Why make it a big deal?" Mason voiced curiously. Louis gave him a long, dead stare. "She is the love of my life. She is the woman I love." Mason gazed dumbfounded, tiny beads of sweats growing on his forehead, despite the cold morning breeze stealing subtly into the cafe. Louis stood up immediately, hands shaking. He stares at the floor, everything spinning around him. "We'll talk later," he muttered and stomped out of the cafe. Later that night, Louis sat on the floor beside his bed, eyes red. His phone buzzed, a message from Nina. "You've been quiet today. Are you okay?" Louis typed, deleted it, typed again. "Just tired but missing your voice. Want me to sing for you this time?" Nina typed. He smiled faintly through tears. "Only if you promise not to scare my neighbors." Nina laughed. "Deal." Her voice note came through, soft, off-key, but full of warmth. Louis listened, tears falling silently. "If she ever finds out, if she ever learns what I was forced to forget, she'll never forgive me." His heart shivered. A week later in a park. Louis walked slowly toward the park bench, where Nina waited with 2 cups of coffee. She waved, glowing in the morning light. He could hardly look at her without guilt stabbing through him. "Hey stranger, you've been miles away lately," Nina teased. He smiled weakly. "Maybe I just needed to remember how lucky I am to be near you. You don't have to charm me every second. I already like you." She rolled her eyes at him. They sat. She handed him a cup. "You okay?" "You look tired." "Just fighting my thoughts. Anything I can help with?" She held his right hand gradually. He looked at her deeply. "You are already helping by being with me." She tilted her head, puzzled but smiling. He gently brushed a strand of hair from her face, then looked away, heart heavy. "You haven't told me anything about your school days. I mean life as a college student," he voiced as his lips trembled surreptitiously. She searched for his eyes for a while before saying, I didn't think it'll interest you." There was silence. Nina broke it. "I was a student at Glenda College, one of those very ambitious, studios and focused students. I was such a bore to people. I wasn't outgoing at all." She paused and chuckled. "The only time I went out with my course mates was during our final year party at New Rise Hotel." She paused again and glanced at Louis, whose heart was already palpitating at the mention of the hotel. "My fear came upon me that night. I was attacked and defiled." She said casually, having him around was the safest space for her. She wasn't shy about her past anymore. "Seems like you don't know this attacker," Louis whispered, unsure of what to expect. "If I did, he would have been behind bars by now. But I was unconscious. I believe some of my haters slipped something into my drink. But I can't prove it." Her face fell. "Can we talk about something else, please?" Louis held her hand unsatisfactorily. "Please, one last question." She stared into his eyes and nodded. He cracked his voice. What if the man who attacked you that night is innocent? What if he was drugged too? Will you forgive him?" Nina drew her hand away from his immediately and stood up. "What nonsense are you saying, Louis? Is this some kind of chauvinism or what? How can you give such a beast benefit of doubt? Am I worthless to you? Louis stood up. No, Nina. That's not what I'm trying to say. Enough. I'm tired of this boring walk in the park. Call me when you're all right. She threw her cup of coffee on the ground and stormed away. Louis stood speechless and crestfallen, but the voices of his heart was loud. I can't lose her. I can't tell the truth. She won't bear it. Mason called Louis later that night. He answered after a long pause. There's no evidence you hurt anyone intentionally, sir. You were drugged, hospitalized afterward. You don't remember because you were unconscious most of the night. Louis remained silent. I advise you don't tell her yet, sir. Not like this. Let her heal. Let yourself heal too. Louis leaned against the wall, eyes closed. He hung up. How do I heal knowing I'm the reason she broke? Days later, Nina opened the door after hearing the doorbell. Louis stood there with flowers. He looked pale but determined. You disappeared again. I thought you aren't ready to talk. She voiced, showing no excitement. I just needed time to think. He handed her the flowers. This is an apology for going past your boundary. I'm sorry, I miss you. Nina's eyes softened. She stepped closer. She held the flower. A slight smile stole across her face. I was scared. I thought you'd leave me like other guys. I miss you too. He looked at her, voice breaking softly. You smile makes it harder to tell the truth. What do you mean? She voiced curiously. He nodded, forcing a smile. I mean I love you so much, Nina. That's all that matters right now. She blinked, stunned, wrapped her arms around him and buried her face in his chest. I love you too, Louis. He held her tightly, a man torn between love and truth. Some truths break us. Others teach us how to love without conditions. A week later in Grandeville restaurant, the chandeliers glittered like falling stars. The air hummed with music and murmured laughter. Nina sat across from Louis at an elegantly set table, soft candlelight reflecting in her eyes. Her dress was a gentle shade of emerald, hugging her body jealousy, her smile radiant. Tonight's the night, I can feel it. He's finally going to ask. She screamed in her mind, smirking as she stared directly at Louis. Louis, in a beige suit jacket and black trousers, kept his gaze on the glass of water before him, his hands trembling slightly. The waiter set down plates of steaming Chinese delicacies, perfectly arranged. Nina broke the silence cheerfully. You really went all out tonight. What's the occasion, Mr. Secretive? He smiled faintly, glancing at her, not able to hold a gaze. Just thought you deserved a little something special. She laughed and nudged him with her foot under the table. Oh, I know that tone. You're nervous. Don't tell me you're shy about something. Louis stared nervously. Shy about what? Nina leaned forward, eyes sparkling. About proposing, of course. Louis froze, fork suspended in mid-air, his pulse raced. Proposing, he blurted. Nina laughed playfully. Oh, don't act surprised. You've been so jumpy lately. I knew it. I knew you'd do it tonight. Her laughter filled the room, light and innocent. He forced a smile, but his heart bled. How do I destroy this smile with the truth? He muffled under his breath. Come on, Kevin. Don't be shy. I can't wait to be your wife. Her voice came, full of love and trust. He looked down, guilt suffocating him. Then slowly, he reached across the table and held her hand. He spoke softly. And what if I didn't bring the ring tonight? Nina grinned. Then we'll just go get one together. Louis stared at her, her hope, her light. He felt the walls closing in. He forced a trembling smile. You always have a plan, don't you? She chuckled, always, especially when it comes to us. Hours later, both of them were in a shopping mall going through the ring section, laughing as they tried rings. Louis tried everything possible to milk happiness out of his joy-ridden heart. He wanted her to feel the best. He wanted her to savor the best of the moment, even though he wasn't in the moment. He was in the future. That scary future where her present enchanting laughter will turn to contempt and fury towards him. He feared that future, but he could do nothing. If he told the truth now, he would cut short his chance to listen to her musical laughter more. They found a suitable ring. Louis didn't hesitate. He knelt, not out of joy, but desperation to protect her happiness. Nina Adesuwa. I know you're already on a journey to be everything you want to be. I love you for that, but I have a little request. Nina stared at him curiously, her grin fading gradually. What? She whispered. People were already gathered around them. Louis continued with a straight face. Can you please hop on my own vehicle so we can travel this journey together? Her face lit up. He continued, please can you also help me be everything I want to be? Be the man God wants. Can you allow me love and cherish you? Will you allow me borrow you from your mother? Not forever, I promise. I'm not selfish, for 500 years at least. The onlookers cheered enthusiastically. Nina chuckled, her eyes misty. Louis laughed and finally said, please marry me, Nina. Nina pulled him up and hugged him tightly. Yes, I will. I will marry you, Louis. Louis put the ring on her finger immediately as they held each other tightly in a hug. Amidst the applauses and cheers from onlookers, their heartbeats were the loudest. They beat drums of different music. Nina's was playing the music of a dream come true, while Louis played the music of a nightmare about to invade his paradise. Wedding preparations kicked off immediately. Mrs. Adesua and Mrs. Owen, Louis' mother, were already meeting to plan their children's wedding. Fabrics were chosen, laughter from friends and family echoed. Nina spent more time with her friends choosing colors, styles, and the wedding dress. But Louis was the only one in his world, isolated, guilt eating deep into his bones as days went by. Everyone saw love. No one saw the guilt burning under his skin. The wedding bells chimed 2 months later. Nina loved beachside weddings, and that was exactly what her wedding was like. The stillness, the fresh breeze from the rolling waters, the peak of the sunrise reflecting on the faces of the guests, and the splash-splash of the river. The wedding scenery was epic. Louis watched Nina walk down the aisle, a vision in white, radiant and pure. He adjusted his suit many times, face pale, fingers shivering. They exchanged vows. Till death do us part. Louis' voice cracked slightly as he said the vows. Nina smiled at his nervousness, oblivious of the storm within. You may now kiss the bride, the priest said in a sonorous tone. They kissed intimately, his eyes glistening with tears. What kind of man builds a marriage on broken truths? His guilt continued whispering to him. The celebration afterwards made his guilt give way. He felt like himself for the first time in months. Despite the chaos, he was grateful he finally married the very one woman that meant the world to him. That night in their suite, Nina couldn't stop waltzing around in her nightrobe happily. Louis stood by the window still in his wedding shirt, eyes distant. She grabbed his collar. The wedding's over, Mr. Owen. Go take a shower already. Louis drew her closer, his hands around her waist. Seems like Mrs. Owen is ready for me, he teased. Nina hit him playfully. Come on, husband, don't be silly. She pushed him gently into the bathroom. Louis's guilt came stronger while in the shower. No, I can't let the truth pass tonight. I must tell her. I must lift this weight off my chest. He finished showering and entered the room in a white robe. Nina was already sprawled stylishly on the bed, looking breathtaking. Louis sat on the bed next to her, his breath racing suddenly. Nina, I need to tell you something. She chuckled. Not now, baby. Talk later. Tonight's for us. He tried pushing it, but her warmth, her joy, her touch. It silenced him. Again he lost the chance. The truth died on his lips as he kissed her passionately. Sunlight spilled across the bed. Nina slept peacefully beside Louis. He kissed her forehead, sat up, hands covering his face. She trusts me, loves me. But I'm a monster in disguise. His tears came effortlessly. Days passed and Louis's guilt grew with him. At work he's always lost in thoughts, his meals untouched, barely smiled or laughed. It was madness not to notice his weirdness. Nina could see a totally different man from who she knew. One night in their bedroom, she asked him softly, "You've changed, Louis. You barely talk to me or eat your food. What's wrong? Please talk to me. Whatever it is, we can resolve it." Louis broke down, tears flooding his eyes. He fell to his knees. "Please forgive me, babe. I've done something unforgivable." Nina froze. "What are you talking about?" She tried holding him up. 2 years ago, that night, the one that broke you. It was me, Nina. I didn't know. I was drugged. I swear I didn't remember until... Nina's face drained of color. She staggered backwards, shaking her head violently. No, you're lying, right? Say you're lying, Louis. I wish I was. God knows I wish I was. He sobbed noisily. Nina screamed, You? You were the one. The man I've been praying justice for is my husband. She stormed towards the wardrobe, grabbing her things in a storm of tears, heartbroken, trembling. Nina, please let me explain. She stopped at the door, voice breaking. There's nothing left to explain. You stole my innocence and now my peace. She slammed behind her. He sank to the floor, sobbing into his hands. Nina reached her home that night in profuse tears. She burst into Mrs. Adesuwa's arms, shaking uncontrollably. Nina, what is it? What happened? It's him. Mum, the man from that night. It's Louis. Her mother froze, horror spreading across her face. She hugged her tighter as she broke completely, her cry echoing through the night. Some truths come too late to save love, but just in time to test forgiveness. In a cafe the next day, Mrs. Adesuwa and Mrs. Owen sat across from each other. Rain pattered softly against the windows. Their faces are pale, eyes red from tears. Mrs. Adesuwa clutched her teacup with trembling hands. Mrs. Owen is dressed in dark colors. She wiped her eyes with a handkerchief. Mrs. Adesuwa sobbed softly. I don't even know how to start, Margaret. For 2 years, my daughter lived in pain. You can't imagine what it did to her. Every night, she'd wake up screaming. She lost herself. Mrs. Owen spoke tearfully. I swear I didn't know. Kevin never told me, never said a word. I didn't even know he carried such a sin on his chest. You know what it means for a mother to see her child broken, humiliated. People whispered, her friends abandoned her. The man she was dating said he couldn't be with a defiled girl. Mrs. Owen lowered her face, weeping silently. Mrs. Adesuwa continued, and now to find out that the same man responsible is her husband, that he stood before God and vowed to protect her. Silence hung heavy between them. The only sound was the rain and their quiet sobs. Mrs. Owen's voice cracked. I'm not here to defend him. Mabel, he was wrong. So wrong, but I know my son. He didn't plan it. He was drugged that night. He's been haunted ever since. Please tell Nina not to take this to the worst end. Mrs. Adesuwa snarled through tears. You think it's that easy, to just forgive because he says he's sorry? Mrs. Owen grimaced. I'm not asking her to forget. I'm asking her to see the man who cherishes her, not the boy who was lost that night. Please, Mabel, he loves her genuinely. Mrs. Adesuwa looked away, her lips trembling. I wish I could, Margaret. I wish I could tell her that, but right now, she's unstoppable. She has filed charges. She says he must face the law, no matter how much it hurts. Mrs. Owen covered her face, breaking into deep sobs. Both women cried silently, two mothers torn apart by love and truth. Some days later, in Nina's family house, the front door opened. Louis stepped in hesitantly, his face pale, eyes tired. He saw Mrs. Adesuwa sitting in the living room, folding clothes. Good day, Ma, he said quietly. She looked up, shocked, then tears flooded her eyes. Instead of anger, she walked toward him and embraced him tightly. He froze, tears welling in his eyes. Oh, Louis, I don't hate you. You're a good boy who made a terrible mistake. You weren't wise enough to speak sooner. He held her. I wanted to tell her. God knows I tried, but every time I looked at her, I couldn't destroy the light in her eyes. She sighed. I know, but now fixing this will be hard. She's hurt, and right now her pain is bigger than love. She's filed charges already. Louis nodded, tears streaming down his cheeks. Just then, the front door opened again. Nina entered holding a shopping bag. The moment she saw Louis, she stopped cold. Her expression hardened. What are you doing here? She snapped. Nina, please, I just wanted to talk. Talk? After what you did? After destroying everything? She threw the bag down furiously. Louis stepped forward, desperate. Please, Nina, I never meant to hurt you. I didn't even know it was you that night. She interrupted, screaming, Stop saying that. Stop pretending you didn't know. You think that makes it better? Really? He dropped to his knees, sobbing. Please, Nina, I love you. I'll spend the rest of my life making it right. She slapped him across the face. The sound echoed painfully through the room. You disgust me. I've pressed charges. I'll see you in court. That's the only place I want to see you again. She stormed away into her room. Mrs. Adeswa broke into tears as Louis slowly stands, eyes red and hollow, as he tried not to cry in front of his mother-in-law. He looked at her one last time and whispered, "Please, Mum, tell her I'll never stop praying for her peace." He turned and walked out. His soul was already drenched with pain. Weeks later, we see courtroom scenes, lawyers arguing, Nina sitting stiffly, tears threatening. Louis silent in the dock, hands clasped, face heavy with undying love, not guilt, not pain. He wouldn't stop glancing at Nina. Nina felt her heart ripping apart. Guilt was heavy in her eyes. For the first time, she told herself she'd gone too far, yet a part of her was hell-bent on getting justice. Some days into trial, the man who drugged Louis' drink 2 years ago was found and arrested. He confessed he was paid by Banky to do it. Banky was Bankole, Louis' old friend. He had wanted Louis to sign an illegal contract he came with to the party. He knew Louis won't sign the contract soberly, so he paid for his drink to be drugged. He succeeded in drugging Louis, but lost him when Louis staggered to the restroom and never came back. CCTV cameras showed he entered the same room Nina was that night. The new evidence cleared Louis' name. He was acquitted of the charges. Mrs. Adesua and Mrs. Owen couldn't contain their joy. They cried and hugged Louis, celebrating his exoneration. Nina stood aloof. She didn't know how to react. She ran home with a feeling no one could tell. Louis was still broken. No joy in his freedom. 2 days later, Nina lay on her bed, staring into thin air. She's pale and weak. Her mother entered quietly, holding an envelope. "The doctor sent this, your test result." Nina grabbed it immediately and opened it. Her eyes widened. She covered her mouth with trembling fingers. "I'm pregnant." Her mother nodded, eyes brimming with tears. "Yes, my child." Nina sat up, stunned, her emotions tangled between joy and heartbreak. "A part of him still lives in me, even when I wanted to forget." "He is innocent for crying out loud, Nina. What are you still holding on to?" "Maybe it's a chance to heal," her mother said sadly. Nina said nothing. She touched her belly. A single tear rolled down her cheek, half smile, half sorrow. Next scene showed Louis in his room surrounded by silence, his eyes red, tired. "Lord, please help me fix my home. Help me fix Nina's heart." He stared at a framed photo of him and Nina laughing. He touched her face on the glass gently. His phone's vibration startled him. "It's his mother." "Hello, Mum," he muttered. Mrs. Owen's voice came softly. "Louis, there's something you need to know." "What?" he voiced reluctantly. "Come home tomorrow. It's very important." She hung up. Louis stared into thin air, his morose state switching to perplexity. Same day in Nina's home, she lay on the couch, weak and feverish. Her mother sat beside her, stroking her hair. Sunlight glowed softly through the curtains. "You've been quiet all morning. Are you thinking about him again?" her mother voiced casually. She didn't answer. She stared at her belly, her hand resting protectively on it. "He doesn't know he's going to be a father. Would you tell him?" Nina heaved. "I don't know. I hate him. But every time I think of the baby, I remember the man who made me laugh when I didn't want to smile." "Stop lying to yourself, Nina. You don't hate him. I see you longing for him." She caressed Nina's hands. "Love doesn't die because of pain, my child. It hides until pain softens." Nina turned away, tears rolling silently down her face. By 9 a.m. the next day, Louis was already in his mother's apartment. Mrs. Owen was sipping coffee when he arrived. He gave her a warm hug and plunked into the sofa next to her. "Look how miserable you look, Louis. At least take care of yourself. You should be happier now. Your innocence have been proven." "You can't live like this forever, son," she said after a long look at him. "Happier?" he blurted. "How can I be happy when Nina still sees me as bad?" "I understand how you feel, son, but the good thing is that God has given you a second chance." "Second chance?" "Mum, she hates me. She's carrying scars I put there. You don't even understand the gravity of the silence between us." He grimaced. "I understand even more, Louis. You didn't just give her scars, you gave her love too. Maybe that's where healing begins." She rose and sat next to him. Louis looked away silently, his eyes glassy, fighting back tears. "She's pregnant." "Louis," Mrs. Owen said softly. He turned sharply, stunned. "What did you just say, Mum?" You heard right, her mother told me. She's carrying your child. Louis leaned back, breathing unevenly. Now his tears rolled down unrestricted. Mrs. Owen cuddled him as he cried like a child. The next day, Louis visited Nina's home. She was lying on the couch, her belly bare, her hand moving smoothly on it. Mrs. Adeswa got the door. Louis walked in quietly, hesitant and nervous. He was holding a bouquet of flowers. He hugged Mrs. Adeswa as she ushered him in. Nina rose up from the couch on seeing him, surprised, suddenly nervous and unaware of how to act. Louis stopped halfway, his eyes flinching. "Hi, Nina." "Hi," Nina voiced, avoiding his eyes too. "I stopped by to see you and the baby, our baby." He stuttered, unsure how she'd react. Nina said nothing, words failed her, her mind was blank. She just stared. Mrs. Adesua came in between the silence, carrying a tray of fruit juice and snack for Louis. "Please sit down, Louis," she said, kept the tray on the center table, then gave Nina a surreptitious glare. "Thank you, Mum." Louis smiled and sat on the couch opposite Nina. Mrs. Adesua left them alone together. After a brief moment of silence, Nina spoke coldly. "So you came because of the baby?" "Yes, I heard about the baby. I just wanted to see that you're okay." She looked away. I got you your favorite flowers. Hope you still like them." She looked at the bouquet and looked away again. "I'll get them supplied by tomorrow morning. I want you and the baby in good health." She was still quiet. Louis thought of something else to say. Nina suddenly felt a wave of nausea wash through her. She dashed to the bathroom immediately, her palm tightly covering her mouth. Louis followed behind quietly, speechless. He stood at the bathroom door and watched. She washed her face in the sink and her hands. She looked into the mirror for some seconds, her silence speaking a lot. Then she moved her hands into her clothes, placing them on her belly. "Can I touch her too?" Louis voiced, startling her. She turned. "What are you doing there?" she said shyly, like she's been caught off guard. "I just want to make sure you're fine. Can I touch her?" "Who?" Nina snapped. "Our baby," he voiced, going closer. "What makes you think it's a girl?" She looked into his eyes for the first time. "I just feel it. I believe it's a girl. A little cute princess, just like you, Nina." She looked away nervously. He was too close to her. "Please, can I touch her too?" She was speechless for seconds before nodding reluctantly. Louis smiled gratefully. He moved closer and rested his hands gently on her belly. Nina felt strong sensations wash through her, old memories flashing back. Lost, couldn't stop staring at the man she loved. She noticed he'd lost weight. Her walls of defense came crumpling. Louis too couldn't let go. He wished the moment won't end. Nina pecked him abruptly, after which she couldn't look at him. Louis was dumbfounded. He refused to think further. He held her chin up and kissed her. She withdrew from him and ran into her room. Louis left after hours of waiting, and for her to come back into the living room. 2 weeks later, Mrs. Adesua walked into Nina's room wearing a concerned look. "Why didn't you eat?" "Breakfast?" "It's past 12, Nina. You're carrying a child, for crying out loud. Stop skipping meals." Nina looked away, peeved. "Am I the only one responsible for the child? Why do I get all the rules when he's out there carrying on with his life and I'm here carrying on with his child?" she hissed. Mrs. Adesua smirked. "Now you care about him being around? I thought you'd remain on your high horse of independence until you give birth. He's been making effort to get involved in your life again." Nina scowled. "Then where is he, Mum? For almost 2 weeks he hasn't come to visit. What kind of effort is he making?" Her mother laughed. "Louis traveled for a business trip. How could he have told you when you refused to unblock him? He's on a 3-month business trip as we speak." "What? 3 months business trip?" "Mum, why are you just telling me?" Nina cried. "Really? Did you really want to hear about him? Aren't you still angry with him?" "This is different, Mum. He's still my husband. I'm carrying his child. I deserve to know everything about him." Nina shouted and walked out of the room angrily. Mrs. Adesua smiled. "You still love him, no matter how hard you try to hide it, my child." That night, Nina unblocked Louis on all the platforms she'd blocked him. She went through all their memories together. Their pictures, videos, previous chats, recorded phone calls. Hot tears rolled down her cheeks. How did we become so distant? How come our happy days did not even start before ending? I'm so sorry for being blinded with anger that I couldn't see your innocence. Now I wonder if you hadn't been the one 2 years ago, who would it have been? I'm glad it was no one else but you. I see destiny in everything. Now we have a baby. I wouldn't want him coming to this world to witness chaos in his home. I want him to have the best family ever. I forgive you, Louis, and I hope you forgive me too. Profuse tears engulfed her as she sobbed. She typed all these words and sent it to Louis via WhatsApp. She didn't get any reply from him that night. The next morning, she checked for a reply. There was none, but the ticks showed, "He's read the message." Nina's heart thumped. Strange. He's been craving for my text. Why didn't he reply? Is he seeing someone else already? She panicked in a paranoid manner. 1 week later, Nina got back from antenatal and sat on the couch when she got a message from Louis. The message read, "I'm at the door." Her heart screamed. She rose up immediately and tried to putting herself in order. Just then a knock came. She hesitated before reaching the door calmly. She opened and indeed it was him. She froze, her eyes betrayed her, mesmerized by his handsome face, perhaps because they've been apart for a long time. He was holding a bouquet of her favorite flower, and in the other hand, 3 small shopping bags. "Hi, Nina," his baritone came caressing her ears. "Hi, Louis, I got your favorite flower and a gift." She took the bouquet and bags from him, avoiding his eyes. She dropped them on the table and sat down. Louis sat opposite her. "How have you been? How's the baby? Mum told me you've started antenatal." Nina smiled. "Seems like Mum is your new wife." He stared at her amusingly. She caught his face, the smile, the chiseled jawline. She looked away. "I thought you traveled never to return until 3 months." "It's barely 1 month and you're back," she voiced, acting reluctant. Louis smiled. "I shortened my trip. I need to be here with you and the baby." She glanced at him. "I thought you're tired of us? Of me?" "Why would I be?" he voiced, looking right at her. She hesitated. You saw my message, didn't you?" "You didn't reply." Louis moved to her abruptly. He pulled her up to stand right in front of him. She was surprised, nervous. She couldn't look at him. He held her hands and stared into her eyes. "Hey, that's why I'm here. Your message resuscitated me. I didn't have the right words to reply online. I wanted to reply physically, like this right before you, where I can see the only woman I love." Her eyes glistened with tears. "My message made you come back?" "Yes. Baby, I miss you madly. I prayed to God for this day. I'm glad he's given me a second chance." Her tears fell. He wiped them with his thumb. "I'm sorry for not believing you, my prince." Louis chuckled. "Can you repeat what you just called me?" Nina blushed, looking downwards. "My prince," she whispered. He held her waist and pulled her closer. "I've never had anything against you. I just want to be able to hold you like this again. Kiss you, love you. I can't stop loving you." Nina looked up at him. "I love you too, my prince," she voiced. He held her chin up. They kissed, deeply holding each other as tears flowed down their cheeks, tears of reconciliation. The baby kicked. Nina screamed happily as they laughed.
You still the one I run to, the one that I belong to.